Good morning to those who listen. It is September 21st now, 2023. It's 1:20 a.m. And this is me from exactly 6 years ago today. And I was just kind of, you know how Facebook has their uh, the day in remembrance or whatever it's called, this day, whatever. Uh, so this is from 6 years ago. And it was really weird because I was talking about a bunch of stuff. This was right before I started on YouTube. I used to put all my stuff on Facebook, but then I realized, there wasn't very many people that saw it. So that's when I got on to, and it's really strange too, because I looked that up. I looked it up, and I started on YouTube on October 14th. And we know what October 14th is now, 2023. It's that eclipse that came out of nowhere. But anyway, back 6 years ago, I thought there was something that was going to happen because of the Revelation 12 sign. There's a lot of weird stuff that kind of happened. All right, so 6 years ago, I looked this up. It's really kind of strange. I don't know. I guess it's, I guess it isn't strange. I don't know. To me, it's strange. But if you look back on the calendar, exactly 6 years ago, September 23rd winds up being on a Saturday, just like it does this year. So I don't know if that's anything weird or not. I'm sure it happens. But there was also a bunch of hurricanes that were happening. Right after the eclipse happened was when all the hurricanes were happening. Well, there was Jose, there was Maria, and then after that was the Hurricane Lee. And now, we just had a Hurricane Lee in 2023. I don't know, just some weird stuff. But anyway, I had this weird story that happened. So I'll just have you guys listen. Oh, also in the background, it's really weird too. There was something strange that was going on. We had a windstorm. This is when I was living in Colorado. There was this windstorm that was going through at the time when I was doing it. So you can I don't know if you'll hear it in this little bit, but the wind was howling. Also, which was very strange too, is the lighting kept changing. The sun kept like flashing. It was weird. And then, when I started doing my YouTube channel and started doing the sun simulator thing, the sun would always be flashing. And I don't know, it could have been my camera or whatever. But it was weird that happened. I don't know. Just some weird, strange stuff. But here's a strange story that happened to me exactly 6 years ago.
Last night, there was a really strange thing that happened to me at work. I talked to my boss. I don't think I said this yet. But anyway, I'm going to say it here again. If I mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. Sorry. Last night when I was at work, I told my boss, I said, if I might not be coming to work on Saturday. And he goes, what happened? Why? And I said, well, if September 23rd happens, the end of the world. He goes, oh, I've read all about that. He goes, I don't think it's going to happen. But, I said, well, I don't think it would either. But, in case it does, he goes, yeah, if that happened, he says, I will not go to work either. So that's what would happen. I think a lot of people would just close down their businesses, not knowing, what's going on. And then after that, when I got counted out at the end of the night, I went and did dishes while he was counting me out. And he came back and he said, you got to come and see this. You're not going to believe this. And I was like, what's going on? So, oh, weird. All right, never mind. That's another story that just popped up. So I went back there to see what, he's talking about. He goes, look at this. He says, after I added up all, your tips and your gas reimbursement, this is your total. And I was like, oh, my God. And it was $66.66. Now, what's the odds of that? And I wound up working an hour extra. So I wound up getting an extra couple deliveries in before I left. So if I would have left when I was supposed to, that would have never happened. But it was just weird. And he mentioned it too. He goes, that's really weird. We were just talking about the end of the world, and now this comes up. literally like minutes later. It's really strange. Just a strange story that happened to me. And a week before, I mentioned this in a different video. A week before I was at Walmart, I only had so much food stamps left, and I knew I was going to have to pay extra, for some of the food that went over. So I paid for the whatever was left on my food stamps, and then I said, well, I'll have to pay, with my other card for the rest of it. So we figured it out, and it came up to $7.77. So I thought that was really strange, and I mentioned to him, I said, "Oh, thank God it wasn't 666." And he just looked at me like I was crazy. But anyway, that was just another story that happened to me recently. It's been a lot of...
Oops. All right, so there's that. And I just thought that was kind of weird. So that happened 6 years ago. So this was at the time I was deciding to go to YouTube, but I still didn't do it yet. So it was October 14th. So it was less than a month later. That's when I started on YouTube. So I don't know. It's just kind of weird. There's a lot of hurricanes that were going through right at the same time 6 years ago. There was that huge earthquake that happened in Mexico. I think that was on this was the 21st. I think it was the 19th of September. That big Mexico earthquake that happened. I don't know. It's weird. I just think there might be something to the September 23rd thing. It's weird that I found that. I don't know. Just a bunch of weird coincidences. So I just thought I would share that. Yeah. I might do some more videos in the next few days about, what's going on. We got that big CME. I don't know. I've heard a couple things about it, and some of it says that it's going to be a near miss, so it's not going to hit Earth, or we'll just get sideswiped and it won't be nothing. They're making it out like nothing's going to happen. But again, remember, if it's supposed to be hitting too on the late hours of Friday or was it just late? It was either late the 22nd or the 23rd. And it's weird how here we go again with the weird coincidences that that something could happen. And again, with the blackout stuff, causing blackouts, that could always happen too. And I've always, had premonitions and always kind of alert people that I think it's going to happen on a Friday. So, I don't know, just some weird stuff. And then, of course, we got all the October 4th, October 11th, possibly, and then the October 14th eclipse. So here's another little thing. Just keep this in the back of your mind. This is just a weird case, in case this happens, if this crazy thing would happen. But if there's a blackout, if the power is out before October 14th, on October 14th, don't go out and look at the eclipse, because just in case, because if anybody remembers the David Bowie video Black Star, which I think he's talking about Planet X, in the video he has that black blindfold over his eyes, and there's like buttons for his eyes. So maybe it means that the eclipse is going to cause people to go blind if they look at it. So this is just, a crazy scenario if it happens to happen. There's a blackout before, people aren't going to think nothing of it, and they're just going to be looking at it. So if there is a blackout, there's no power, and then October 14th is there coming around, don't go out and look at the eclipse. That's a just in case scenario. I know it sounds crazy, but just put it in the back of your head. Put it in the back of your mind. Just in case. I also just did a video. Is this the true Revelation 12 sign? Meaning the one that's happening on September 23rd. I'm telling you, this is such crazy stuff. Go watch this. It's really crazy because trying to explain this. Back in 2017, September 23rd, 2017 was supposedly the Revelation 12 sign. In the constellations, everything lined up. The Virgo was closed with the sun, the moon at her feet, and 12 stars as a crown. So, I put out, even I think back in 2018, that the Revelation 12 sign could have been faked. So, Elon Musk with his Starlink satellites, he already has stated that he could create his own constellations, just putting those satellites in certain positions in the sky and making it look like a certain constellation or his own constellation. So, throwing that out there. And now this crazy stuff with this, this guy explains it, and it's also been explained by Logic Before Authority on his channel, the decoding all the stuff. And then in there is this crazy thing that this comet, first off, there's an asteroid called Child, which is weird. And right now, right at this moment, it's in the womb of Virgo, in the constellation. And it's crazy because there's also these other stars that are called United Nations and Ukraine and is country. There, I didn't say it this time. And they're all in that general area of Virgo right now. And then we got this green comet that's going through, and the green comet's going through Virgo too. Well, guess when this green comet is supposed to be in Virgo? Yep, you got it. September 23rd. Now, ain't that weird? So in the Revelation 12 sign, it says the red dragon is going to be waiting for Virgo to give birth, or, the virgin to give birth, and then waiting to devour the child. And then, the child is caught up to heaven, from Revelation 12. And it's weird because this comet was like far away. First off, I'll just say a little bit about it. The asteroid they named Child, I guess, like 100 years ago in the 1920 or something like that is what he said. And it's like stayed in the same spot in the sky and in space and wherever in the constellations. It's always been like in the same spot, but now suddenly it moved. After all these thousands of years, it just suddenly moved over into the womb of Virgo. This is crazy stuff, man. And then now this green comet just happens to be there right at September 23rd. Like it meets up with the asteroid called Child. It's really weird. So is there something that's going to happen on September 23rd? I don't know. This is kind of weird stuff. But check out this video too, because it's really crazy. There was one more thing. Oh, I was going to say too, in Revelation, it says that the red dragon was there waiting to devour the child. I've seen some things where it says that as comets get closer to the sun or farther away from the sun, the comets can change color. So if somehow magically this green comet suddenly turns red and you start hearing about this, oh, the comet just turned red, that could be the red dragon. Just throwing that out there too. Not saying it's going to happen, but it would be very strange since it's going to be in the same vicinity of the asteroid, or he said it could be a comet too, but he thinks it's an asteroid named Child. You'll see in the video if you look at it. All right, I don't want to keep going on and on. Another long video, sorry. But it's very interesting stuff, and it could be very important. So everybody just be alert. for from now until at least the middle of October, after October 14th. Not saying any of this stuff is going to happen. It's just really weird coincidences with everything that's been going on. Exactly 6 years to the day, and exactly the same day on a Saturday. It's just a lot of weird coincidences that you can't just look at as coincidences if there's that many of them. You know, maybe there is something to it. So maybe Satan, the demons, or they got the elites, or humans to fake this Revelation 12 sign, so then people would think that that was the real Revelation 12 sign back then, and then think that all this other stuff was supposed to happen. In Revelation 12, you have the Revelation 12 sign happen, and then the child is birthed from the womb, and then the great red dragon is supposed to be there, and then the war in heaven is supposed to start out. Well, we never really saw any of that stuff happen 6 years ago, except for what they said was this Revelation 12 sign. I don't know, crazy stuff. Check it out. Check it out. This could be something. And please pray for discernment on this, because I'm just throwing some stuff out there. I don't know exactly everything either, and I'm doing a lot of praying too on this. I really want discernment on stuff that's going to happen, especially if there's something major that's going to be happening really soon. Check out the other video, though. It's really very interesting. And again, that one was 17 minutes, and this one's 17 minutes. All right. Thanks for watching. God bless.